Hey, this is your lower body workout. Now, this one is a little more endurance-based. Most things we'll be doing 2 sets of 15, okay? And no squats, no lunges. So, lots of work though for your legs. There's plenty of ways to work around it. In fact, let's introduce you to my co-stars today, the band. You know, you can get them anywhere. This one's pretty thick actually. It says ultra heavy, so you'll probably need it because you're strong. Also, you may want a couple dumbbells. We have, I believe, one exercise in here where we may be using dumbbells as an alternative, you know, if you want to. So let's go ahead and get started. Put this on around your ankles, or if you have maybe a looser one, you can even bring it up above your knees. But the point is, we're going to step side to side. Let's get the hips going. Let's get that glute medius fired up. Now note, my toes are going straight ahead. Let me show you a side view. I'm stepping back at a little bit of an angle. My toes are still going ahead, okay? So just side to side like that. You may want to do 15 of these. This is even one because it is a good warm-up. If you just want to do one long set of these, maybe walk all the way across the room, walk all the way back, something like that, that's perfectly fine. We're just getting the hips firing. Now, that's your lateral step. That's where we're going to start. You may want to hold on to this. We have something else to do. Go ahead and have a seat or sit on the bench for this next one. This is more about ankle mobility. Now, put this around the ball of your foot. Good place to start. See, it's around the ball. My foot's not going to slip off. It's not going to snap at me. And it's just simple extension there. So it's plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. Plantar, point my toes, pointing back. So 15 of those. Now it can be on the ground. You could be, seated on something with your leg extended. That's fine too. But you want the fullest range you can manage. Kind of, if you will, pushing through that big toe. Here's another view of it, sort of from the bottom. Now, once you get 15 of those, then we're going to invert-evert. So trying to keep your legs straight. I'll show you some other angles. Side to side, right around that ankle. So again, I'm going in, out, in, out. It might be hard, but you can get better at this actually, to try to just limit the movement around your ankle. So do 15, point your toes, flex your toes back, 15 side to side, windshield wiper if you will with the ankle. Do that on both sides. If you want to do another set of lateral steps, that's cool too. Okay, now on to the workout. Straight leg deadlift. Now this I will give you a couple options on. First of all, low back's a little tweaky. It's still an effective thing. We can do it without weight. Pull the abs in tight, slight bend in the knees. You can even exhale, pull your abs in. That's a version of it. You're feeling really good. Just some weights. You don't have to go too heavy. Shoulders back, good posture, pull your abs in. Maybe keep your legs a little bit straighter. Now the moment you might feel your back rounding, you don't want to go there, okay? Just push your hips back, pull your abs in, you'll feel that natural stopping point where your hips won't go back anymore and you want to start rounding, so stop there. Now if neither of those is a good option, but we still want to get those hamstrings, that active flexibility, good strong hips, hold on to something if you need to. We'll do a single leg version. So I'm standing on my right leg, it's a pillar of strength, anchored in through the heel, push the hips back. You don't have to do anything with that one leg other than just keep it up. That's another version you can also do with or without weight. Now that second one with the weights is probably the one I'd recommend, but if you're not quite there today, no big deal. Again, 2 sets of 15, but pair that deadlift with another one I'll give you an option for. Kneeling. Okay, start there. You can be on your toes if you want to, or if you have the ankle mobility. We're working on ankle and lower leg mobility and health as well here. This one's going to work your quads, you'll even feel it in your core. Hands here. You can sit down all the way, nice and slow. Feel those lower abs engaged all the way up. If your knees aren't okay, I'll show you a modification here in a moment. But that's what it looks like, up and down. You can also stay on your toes, if that's not too much extension, okay? But if you have the mobility, I'd recommend being here, on the top of your feet, up and down, 15 of those. If that's not quite there for you, your knees or ankles or anything is just tweaking, Let's do can openers. So up, open, up, open. It's a great mobility exercise for your hips. Just 15 of those each way. That's the alternative. That's also a great warm-up you can use with other workouts as well. Okay, so pairing the deadlift with that up and down, that seated up and down, or the can opener. Okay, the next pair. Onto the mat, please. So we're going to work the inner thighs with a little abductor action here. On your side. This leg, I know it's going to look just like Jane Fonda, like 1975. You're going to love it. Toes going straight ahead. Abduction. Yes, abduction. Now if that's too easy, you can always add a little bit of this too. Get a little core action. But the prime thing we want to do is the adduction. So 15 of these on each side. Keep that shoulder engaged. Don't sink into it. Keep the shoulder engaged, shoulder over elbow. 15 of those on each side. Go ahead and lie on your back. We'll do single leg bridge. So, on your back, heels by your hips, leg up, anchoring through this heel, pushing up and down. 15 of those. So you want to almost drive that top heel toward the ceiling by pushing down. So you're raising that up by pushing down here, okay? And so 15 of those on each side. Now, what's coming up next? Stay on your back. Sorry if you got up already. Go ahead and stay on your back. We're going to do a stretch. So this is a great one for the hips. Just a figure 4 stretch, it's often called. Here's kind of the setup with the legs. Right there, it's pretty easy. Grab this thigh. If you can keep your shoulders and your head down, you don't have to strain with it. It's not about how far you go. Just let's do this with some integrity. The shoulders back and down. You don't have to strain on it. It's pretty easy. You can reach around, grab the knee. Again, holding this 30 to 45 seconds on each side. Now the other thing, come on up. Let's stretch the lower legs. If your feet aren't quite working well, or you're wearing really stiff shoes, or shoes that aren't the friendliest in the world for full mobility and gait, from the bottom up, you're going to get some tight calves. So let's stretch. Let's think about stretching those lower legs. A lot of different ways to do it. I'll show you one way here. You want a slightly raised surface. It might be a stair, it might be a little bit of a weight like this. So that's one way. Legs are straight here. You're getting a little bit more up there. If you want a little bit more in that muscle underneath here, the bottom of the soleus, bend the knees a little bit. That's going to move the focus of that stretch a little bit lower into the lower leg. So we just stretched our hips, the top part of that chain of movement. When you walk, although your entire body actually is involved. This is the lower part of that chain. A part that often gets ignored, right? So 30, 45 seconds, that's great. You're stretching your calves after stretching your hips. So remember, 2 sets of 15 for each of the previous exercises, holding the stretches 30 to 45 seconds in this lower body workout.